Hello, Janelle Baker here. Jen, how are you? So, I'd like to take a moment and acknowledge today, October 15th, is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Day. And by lighting a white candle, we're honoring those many women, babies, that have lost their lives. Maybe during pregnancy, a mother lost the baby during the pregnancy. There's a lot to it with that. But I wanted to come on today and open up and share part of my story, but also show you the side of mediumship that can really be of a blessing and joy for this special day, but also for those that are grieving right now, to give you some kind of hope and clarity as well. Okay, so part of my journey, I have a child that I have that are no longer with me. And here it is. This is the story. At the time, this was like in the fall, or about to be the fall, I'm sorry, like near the end of summer, between fall and summer. And I was sitting on the couch in my apartment, and I got up and I felt like a rush of blood. Now, it was weird because that's like my periods are heavy, but they're not like that. And it felt so weird, and I was so confused, like, what is going on? And it just kept going. Bleeding kept going. And I didn't know what was going on at the time. I had called my boyfriend at the time, like, I don't know what's happening. Like, I've never had a period like this before. I don't know what to do. Well, needless to say, I just kind of went and lay down, tried to manage what I was dealing with, and that was that. Well, it proceeded, it continued, and I went to work, and it still was really horrible. A lot of pain, a lot of discomfort, and I remember going to the ER, and I felt so uncomfortable, and so it was awful, nonstop bleeding, horribly out of control. I remember going to the ER, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm bleeding nonstop, and I don't know what's going on. So they're like, well, we have to do all these tests to kind of figure out what's going on. I'm like, okay. So come to find out, I was pregnant. Didn't even know it because I'm birth control. And and I ended up being 3 months pregnant. And what was happening was I was having a miscarriage. I had no idea. It was a really, really hard emotional experience. My partner at the time called him, told him he wasn't available. He had his kids, and he lived in Ohio, so he was not available. So I hid it during the time at the hospital. My sister was trying to get a hold of me, and so I ended up cracking and telling Melissa what was going on. She rushed to the hospital, and I ended up passing the majority of it at the hospital. And it went on for a week, to be honest with you. It was nonstop. It was horrible, and I actually had to get an emergency DNC, like during, I don't know, I think a week had went by. Just about a week, actually. So they actually had to do an emergency DNC, and they almost had to give me more blood because I was so low, running just getting rid of a lot of blood. And it was a really traumatic experience. And that is a part of my story. I felt shame. I felt a lot of things. I felt horrible during that whole situation for a lot of different reasons. Not knowing I was pregnant, and then having the termination, and know that it just knowing it was a miscarriage, and it happened ironically. It was on Labor Day. It was around Labor Day. That's the irony, I find. But that took a lot of anger and a lot of sadness. As you see, it still makes me emotional thinking about it. But I've moved through a lot of it. And I used to carry that a part of me as my story. And I hid it. But I'm not hiding it because I'm going to be able to flip this and turn it to the mediumship side of it. And what I mean for the mediumship side of it is during some of my readings that I get to do, especially women, their unborn child, their baby that didn't make it, will come and greet me and let me, and I have to, ask, did you have a termination of a pregnancy, like a pregnancy that didn't make it? And I am able to connect with that mother and be with that mother and hold space for her. But I want to say the really, really cool thing about that for mediumship is all these babies, these children, however they want to show up, I have to make mention of that. Sometimes the child will come the age that it would be. Sometimes the child will come as a baby, this is an infant. They get to choose. And I had a son. That's who I had for that miscarriage. And the one thing I want you to take time, and it's always brought up in every reading, name your baby. Name it. Even if you're uncertain about what gender it was, whatever the case may be. I didn't even know I was 3 months pregnant. And I had a baby boy. And he's the cutest thing. And he's always by my side. He's full of life and personality, and he's chatty and he's bright and he's joyful, and he's got really cute, curly hair, and just a really cute, jolly soul. And I want you to know that even though they're grieving through this, even though that you're hurting right now, know that that child has came in and it's playing the role that it was supposed to do. Everything happened the way it was supposed to, exactly the way it was supposed to. There's nothing that you could have done. However, the child is now playing as one of your angels, playing on your team now, guiding you, helping you, pushing you, giving you thoughts. And when I say it's guiding you, sometimes I have a friend that just launched her beautiful program of her affirmation deck, and she worked with her son, her angel son, Ben, and he guided her through this affirmation deck. He told her, we're going to build this deck together, Mom. And they created this beautiful, beautiful deck. And I'll put it in the comment in my description below where you can buy this beautiful deck. And she created it for people who have gone through loss. Also, it's also a beautiful deck to give you the affirmations to help you keep going, to know to keep going, to know that you're worth and you're going towards something great. So it's just a beautiful deck. But what I want you to know at the end of it all is that your little baby's with you. Provide it a name. Mine, my little son, he told me what he wanted to be named. And I didn't come up with the name. I was actually, when he told me the name, I was like, don't you want a different name? He was like, no, Mom. No, I want this name. I want this name. So sometimes they'll just tell you what they want. Sometimes you just have that opportunity to name her. And I take this time with this candle that's being lit and hold space for all of you, and know that there is joy on the other side of this pain. And sit still. Allow your child to come talk to you. Allow your child to play a part in your life. And know that you're not alone. And that is actually the affirmation I want to kind of give you at the end of this video. Is just, you're not alone. You're not alone. You are cared for and you're loved. You're not alone. All right? So please take a moment. Remember those. Maybe you haven't gone through something like this, but you know someone. Send them some soup. Send them a card. Just go and sit with them and hold their hand. I hid all of it from a lot of people. The pain, the suffering, the anger. I took it out on my partner. I 100% took it out on my partner. I didn't, for a lot of different reasons. But just sometimes sitting there or just calling them and saying, I'm just going to sit with you on the phone. We don't have to talk. Just know that I'm here and I love you. Sometimes that's enough too, especially if you don't know what to say. I have a problem with that. Sometimes I don't know what to say. But may you be well. Keep holding on.